Hey, Amanda here, bringing you into our life at Hotel Moro. Our project that we have been working on lately has been our event room bathroom, and it has been taking a lot longer than expected. Today I want to show you the process that we've been using to take it from a dirty utility bathroom into a beautiful bathroom that our guests can use. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. It's totally free to do so, and you can change your mind at any time. Also, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time our videos are posted. So here in the bathroom, we got some weird stuff going on that we need to decide what we want to do with. We've got like some paneling that's in really rough shape. And then above that is like drywall that's finished. And then above that, we've got just weirdness going on. So I don't know what we want to do. So a few months ago, you may remember that we took down the acoustic drop ceiling in the event room, and back here in this back part, underneath it had some metal sheeting, which we were guessing was to kind of help with fireproofing and making it easier to clean when it was a cafe in here. So we had to start by pulling that all down. Our plan is to raise the ceiling back up to where it needs to be. And when there was the drop ceiling in here, they had built like partial walls that just went up to where the ceiling was. So the walls were in good shape, but they did not go all the way up. So we needed to add in some structure to attach our drywall to. We then went and pulled up a section of the carpet outside the bathroom so that we could kind of figure out where the tile will end and our hardwoods will start once we go to restore the wood floors. The longest part of this bathroom renovation has been smoothing out the walls to get them where they're ready for the next step. So the guys went through and they mudded the seams. They did the first round, taped them where they need to be taped, and now I've started skim coating. I've done my first layer of skim coat and I'm about ready to start my second layer. I am currently covered in dust from all of that because I had to do a little light scraping sanding to get off all the little bits and chunks that might end up back in my mud, and I'm ready to do the next round. So I was using the hot mud where you mix the powder with the water, get it all mixed together. But once the water hits the powder, you have, like, this one's a 90 set. So in less than 90 minutes, it was gonna solidify. And so I was having a harder time making sure that it was kind of like smooth on the walls before it set. I did not enjoy having to figure out how to clean up my tools without damaging my drains and things, because you don't want to dump a bunch of that stuff down the drain and have it solidify in your drains, because even in like a bucket of water, your tools will still solidify too. So it's a chemical reaction. It's going to be solid whether it's soaked in water or not. So now I am to my bucket of joint compound. I just thin it down with water and then smooth that on the walls instead. And I'll show you how that's going. So the goal is to turn this into like a thick batter consistency. This is too thick, so I'm gonna add water to it and mix it with my drill and thin it out a little bit. All right, so now that I added some water, you can tell it definitely has more movement to it, but when I get a scoop, it's not gonna just slide right off. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, and now I'll go put it on the wall. So before I come in and put any mud on the wall, I just go over any texture and any stuff that's on the wall with a trowel. I don't like to use my nice one, so I just found this one in the basement, and I use this to just kind of do a scrape across the wall a couple of times, and I do that all over, and then I'm ready to put the mud on the wall. This is one of my least favorite parts because I do not like this noise. It reminds me of like nails on a chalkboard. So this is what I mean by your rough coat. It's gonna be streaky, have lines. You want to put it on and only go back and forth like a couple of times. You do not want to overwork it. You just want to get your product on the wall in a nice, fairly even coat. What I was finding is if I did like too much of like trying to smooth it out, you actually take too much of it off the wall, and then it doesn't give a nice surface for your next coat to stick to. So this is kind of what it looks like. And then over here on this one, there was actually a big tear right here in the surface of the drywall. And so now that I've done a couple of coats, it's actually all nice and smooth. And I can either decide if I'm going to paint or wallpaper over here. So I think I've got 2 walls that are now finished. And then I just have the other 2 to do. So getting there, almost done. Skim coating finally. A little bit more obvious with these bigger raised lines that I've got going on. I'll show you again that I go through and I just like barely knock them down, just a couple of strokes over them, and then I will get my mud and go over the wall again. So once I got the walls and the ceiling all smoothed out, I came back in with a drywall primer. I just picked this one up at Home Depot to put over the top of all my fresh drywall and joint compound. And then I was ready to start painting the ceiling. For the ceiling, I just used kind of like an off-white flat paint that I have around from another project, so that made it easy. I figured the bathroom is small enough with really high ceilings that nobody's really going to notice the exact color of the ceiling, so I wasn't too concerned about like getting the perfect color for the ceiling. So I really got my workout in on this project. I went up and down the ladder probably about 1,000,000 times. One of my favorite little tools are leftover yogurt containers. I don't save all of my yogurt containers, but I do keep a stack of them on hand so that I can use them for projects like this, and then I don't necessarily have to clean them up when I'm done. I can just huck them in the garbage. So I really wanted to do the tile floors early on in this project, but Travis was my voice of reason. reminding me that I am very messy and that I would not want to clean my nice new floors, and even no matter how good I tried to cover them, I would still probably manage to make a big mess. So I did all my stuff, and then I came back and cleaned up the vinyl flooring and got it ready for tile. So my original plan was to actually tile directly over the vinyl tiles that were in the bathroom. I found some products that would make it really easy to do this. But as I was cleaning all of the joint compound and stuff off of my vinyl, I found out that I unfortunately had some that were loose, and I went and lifted one up and it just popped off. So then I got to spend an afternoon popping all of those tiles off and then cleaning all the gunk out from under them. So my arms were dead that day. It was almost like carpal tunnel. My wrists and stuff hurt for like a couple of days. Lots of tingling. Probably could have found a better way to do that, but it worked and I was done. So I didn't put too much thought into it at the time. Once all the gunk was scraped up, I swept everything out of the bathroom, and I finally feel like we are kind of like on the downhill slide, and I can't wait to show you how we finish this bathroom. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, weekly updates, sneak peeks, family life, and so much more. The link is in the description below. If you want to see more of our hotel restoration projects, check out this playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!